All right, episode 2 of the Vodcast or Pauper Vodcast.
Yes,
the
Flesh and Blood Pauper podcast.
Vodcast. There you go.
Sorry. The Flesh and Blood.
We're professionals
Pauper
here.
Video Pod. What does pod stand for?
All right, it's the Flesh and Blood Pauper Vodcast.
The Vodcast.
Episode 2. Last episode we did Pauper Briar. Now we're doing Pauper Lexi. It's probably going to be very hard to compete with a deck that has an upward potential of dealing 36 damage on a single turn, but you know.
Yep.
We're going to do our best. And so, yeah, like last time, we're going to look at some competitive, unfortunately only classic constructed decks available, but some top 8ing Lexi decks, and kind of use that as a jumping point for building our Pauper, Commoner, Blitz Lexi deck.
As a side note, we could just make a Lexi deck that is almost a carbon copy.
That is true. I can't remember if we discussed that on the episode last time or if that was after we finished recording.
I'm not sure.
It may have been after recording, but essentially, I think there's like 10 cards difference between like the Briar deck and what Lexi could do. Lexi could actually run that same exact deck, just like minus the Arcanic Shockwaves and the Bramble Sparks. So maybe that's 12 cards. Because I think we did like 4 Bramble Sparks, 4 Arcanic Shockwaves.
I think she could use Bramble Spark.
No, that's a Runeblade. Runeblade non-attack action.
Oh,
yep.
Okay. It is, isn't
yep.
it?
So you could run that same exact deck and be a Lexi deck, but you lose those 12 cards, so you have to replace them with like Archer cards or something like that, and probably more critically, you lose Rosetta Thorn for a bow. But I mean, like, you could have some upsides like Buzzbolt or something like that that does well with Ball Lightning, for example, right, because it does arcane damage as well. Or not arcane, that's nondescript, I think. But you could build that. We're not building that. We're going to build an actual Lexi deck, because I think she's probably better off not just trying to be a budget, except it's already budget, a budget Briar.
A gimped Briar?
Yeah, a gimped Briar, yeah, exactly. So, right off the bat, I opened these 2 decks. One of them came in first, one came in second, I think the other was 8th. Just to get a kind of a spread of ones, and it seems like everyone is playing Ice Lexi, which is A, really convenient, because that means we can build something that's not lightning like last time, and second, it probably is the best chance she has of like fighting Pauper Briar, for example, is just being kind of more control element. Right. And as someone who built Ice Oldhim, I love the idea of building another Ice hero. You maybe not so much, no. but I like the fact that you can play a control deck, even though I'm usually an aggro player in general, but I love that there are options for control now, and I have a feeling that's probably what this is going to look like, but...
I mean, I'm not a fan of control decks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, kind of their whole point is to make it not fun, so yeah. I mean... But...
If I'm not going to have fun, you're not going to have fun.
But I guess let's dive into what everyone else is playing. And obviously, a lot of these cards we probably can't run. Like Blizzard Bolt we can, because Blizzard Bolt is a common. I think Chilling Ice Vein is too, but Bolt and Shot is the rare, I believe. Yeah, so that is... Okay, it's an arrow card that has Go Again and Reload. That's actually really sick. Can't use Endless Arrow, we can't use Command and Conquer. So if we're just looking at like the Pauper playables here, we have, actually, let me look at one other thing here. How many blues are they running? They're actually running a decent number of blues. Because a Ranger, you can kind of get away with reds and yellows a lot more than you can with other classes, because most of their stuff is cheap. But, yeah, they're running a decent number of blues. More yellows, I think, than the...
That's interesting. I guess no...
Well, a lot of reds. A lot of reds.
Yeah.
I guess look at the red stuff here just to kind of compare the two. Scar for a Scar in one of these. That is probably actually a sideboard card, so that's probably not one we need to worry about. Whoop. And then we
What would
can't
you
use the
side that in
pulses.
for?
That's like if you are playing into an aggro deck, I think, because it gains go again if you have less health.
Right.
So it's like
okay.
it's kind of like a really good aggro card, or like into aggro. What was the person who's running it? This one. It's a 0 cost, right? That has go again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we have it in the bar deck too.
Yes, that's why I remembered it.
All right. But we don't have Endless Arrow. We don't have Enlightened Strike. Entwine Ice. Really? I guess I can kind of see it.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. I mean, I think it is a lot worse in like the Guardian deck, but I suppose in the Ranger deck you're a little more aggressive. Is Icequake a common too? No, that's a rare. So we don't get this one.
Nope.
That's unfortunate. That's actually a really, really good card. We don't get Lightning Press. We don't get Pulse. We don't get Weave Ice. I don't think we get Blizzard either, right? And we don't get Channel Lake Frigid. Nope, that's Majestic. So, yep. Oh, that's a really good sideboard card too. Don't get Frostlock. We do get the Polar Blast and the Winter's Bites though. Blue Winter's Bite, nice. Although actually that makes sense. Blue Winter's Bite is fine. Don't get Remembrance, but that's a sideboard card, so that's not too bad. And Chilling Ice Vein is a common, right? Yeah. Okay. So I think if we're taking stuff from this, we are probably running the Blizzard Bolts. We're probably running the Chilling Ice Veins because those are like some of the best Frost ones. Because this is the one that does the Frostbite one, and I think Chilling Ice Veins discard. Yes,
Yep,
and that's whenever
yes.
any attack. So if you can actually give this go again, you can potentially do some crazy stuff. Though I don't know how reliably we're going to be able to do go again in this deck. Sleep Dart a common? It is. Okay. Sleep Dart's neat, although Sleep Dart may be a sideboard card, so this might be one we drop. Because this is the one that if it hits, the hero loses all their abilities. So like in certain matchups, it doesn't do much.
Okay, yeah.
But it is 5 damage for 1, so... Okay. I mean, you probably do still run this Chilling Ice Vein, even if you don't have ways to give it go again, because it's just like, it makes some discard a card.
Right. One of the downsides of running her as an ice archer is that the cards cost a little bit more.
They can,
However, on the bright side, it makes the enemies cost more as well.
Yeah,
because
that's true. That's
comes.
true. Wow, so they're running a bunch of Polar Blasts. I think we could probably do that too. Because if we're gonna go ice, we need at least 10 ice cards. That's always my argument, and I think that's still definitely true here, is that you need the 10 just to guarantee that you're going to be able to fuse the ice cards, because you really do need to fuse these. All right, so we have the deck builder over here. Let's do... So we want Chilling Ice Vein. We want red... Are they running all 3 copies? Like blue, yellow, and... Oh, this one's only running Chilling for yellow. Interesting. Chilling, they're using every color. Blizzard, they're only using 1. Interesting. This one has Blizzard and Chilling all 3 colors, which is probably where we're going to go, I would think.
All 3?
I think so.
Okay. And then, are we doing, you said Blizzard Bolt?
Yes, I think we're doing Blizzard Bolt too.
Okay.
All right, and we add the Blizzard Bolts. All right, I think since we're doing Pauper, I think that's why we want to lean towards like 2 of these deck lists play all copies of Blizzard Bolt and Chilling Ice Vein, and I think since we're missing rares and all that stuff, we can't really afford to do the version that is running no blues of them, because I think we just don't have the cards for it.
Yeah, all our cards cost at least 1 typically.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to have blues in here, I think.
All right, and then let's see. They're also running yellow Polar Blast, blue Polar Blast, which is the one that gives Dominate if they don't pay for it. So that actually seems kind of reasonable. This one
Okay.
runs blue. This one runs blue. So definitely the blue. The yellow's more debatable if we want that many. I mean, we're already going to have good ways, presumably, of giving dominate, because like the bow gives dominate, right?
Yes. That's fine.
Because we're going to use shiver. We're not going to use the other one, I don't think. Okay, so let's do
it gains
polar.
dominate until end of turn, or it gains +1 until end of turn.
So we'll do the 2 polar blast. They're all running blue Winter's Bite as well, which I think that's a great include too.
However, that's only for arrows in the arsenal.
Yeah, well, if you put an arrow into the arsenal, yep. Okay, so I think we do the Winter's Bite as well. We do the blue because that's what they're both running. That I love Winter's Bite. I think it's in my old him deck too because they discard a card unless they pay 1,
right,
which means they're discarding a card to pay the 1 usually. So same ultimate effect there. I think they're all running red Icy Encounter, which I do like that. Icy Encounter is a really, really sick card. It's great in Old Hymn, so I think it'll be great here too. Okay, one of them's not running Icy Encounter, but the other 2 are. So I think that's probably doable.
Icy Encounter is expensive, though.
Doesn't it only cost 1?
Cost 2.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh yeah, it does. It does. Okay, we'll wait on that.
Okay.
Whoop. I closed that other deck, but that was the 8th place one, so I think it might be at the top. Alright, we'll open that. We'll open that again. Just so we have 3 that we're going off of here. What other reds are they running? Actually, let's look at the equipment real quick. Okay. There's almost nothing in the equipment to go off of. that's common, except one of them is okay. The bullseye bracers. I was
Right.
kind of planning to do that anyways, but only one of them has that, and one of them has Snapdragon Scalers as a sideboardable card. So, which actually is probably not terrible because, like I said, Chilling Ice Vein is really great if you can do multiple attacks, and Snapdragon Scalers works on Chilling Ice Vein. So, it probably is actually something worth including since we can't use the Ranger boots. Because they're Majestic, I think. Now, Remorseless is a Majestic, right? Yes. So we can't use Remorseless. Frostfang is a rare. Yes. So can't use that. This could be very, very gimped in the end. Flake Out. What does Flake Out do? If it's fused, it's Dominate.
Yeah.
It doesn't do a lot. Cold Wave is a rare. That's unfortunate. Not surprising, though. It is really good. Icequake, also rare. Yeah.
Did we talk about Entwine Ice?
No.
Although
Who
Entwine Ice
had Entwine?
Entwine
Let's
Ice
see.
is kind of the same as Flake Out.
That's true. That is true. So then why would you run Entwine Ice over Flake Out? Is there a reason for that? I don't think so, right? Who had it?
Flake Out has more defense.
You know what?
You can block for 3.
You know what? The only person running Entwine Ice is the one that came in 8th. Not the one that came in 1st or 2nd. They're not running it. So let's just skip on that one for now.
Also, Flake
see
Out is
if we
an
need it.
arrow as opposed to Entwine Ice, which is just an elemental action.
Which, I mean, I guess that has the benefit of you can attack with that even if you you don't have to load it to attack with it. So Blizzard Bolt, Chilling Ice Vein. All right, so this is going to be a lot harder than the Briar one because a lot of these cards are rare or higher, whereas Briar was a lot of commons already in it. Blizzard is like a Majestic, right? Yes, Majestic Ice Instant. All right, so then they are all running Sleep Dart, but I do have a feeling it is a sideboard card. I get a heavy feeling that it's something because some of them aren't running 3 of, some of them are only running like 2.
Right.
There is Sink Below here, which is something we could consider. Sink Below's not awful. If we want to go defensive, although I suppose we probably do the yellow defense reaction if we do go a defense reaction. And one of them has another kind of arrow, I think, right? Was that what I was thinking of? I thought one of them had... Oh, and this one has Amulet of Ice. Interesting.
Would we want to do
Amulet
anything
of
with
Ice?
Pavan Helix?
Is that the one that reloads if it hits?
Yeah.
Possibly.
Okay.
We're going to have to really look into regular Ranger cards because we are going to have so many gaps to fill.
Yeah.
So definitely... Oh, someone had Searing Bolt, I thought. Which is also a decent one, because that one deals more damage if it hits.
Searing Shot?
Yeah, one of them has Red Searing Shot, which is
Yep.
probably worth including, since we're really pressed for options, so... Alright, let's do the Red Searing Shot, and also let's do blue... Let's do Amulet of Ice.
Okay.
Because two of them are running 2 copies of it, which is how many we would run normally anyways. And it does have discard cards if we can fuse something with ice this turn.
Okay.
And it pitches for 3, which is not a liability like it was with Briar.
That's true.
So that's all benefit for us at this point, kind of. All right, so I think Searing Shot red we are good with. I don't know that Flake Out is worth it, realistically speaking. Although it does give us one more thing that fuses ice, which might be worth it for activating Amulet. I don't know.
I don't think it does. It's an elemental.
Oh, well, no, but it requires ice fusion, and you need to fuse something to activate Amulet.
Yeah.
So it might be worth it from that perspective.
Well, how many ice things do we have currently?
Right now we have let's see. So actual ice cards, we have 4 here with Winter's Bite and Polar Blast.
Okay.
Plus 2 more from Amulets, so that's 6. So we have 6. So if we want to be able to fuse every turn, we want at least 10.
Right.
Generally speaking, which isn't too hard for us to hit here, because some of them were running yellow Polar Blast too to give Dominate. So I mean, we could always do yellow Polar Blast. We could put the Icy Encounter in as well, which would give us another 2. So, although, are they running Polar Blast because if we use it from the arsenal, we get to draw a card? Rather than like Winter's Bite, which just discards a card for 0. Okay, so we could do that. So like these are all the common ice cards. So I think Winter's Bite, Polar Blast, and Icy Encounter are probably the best ones. Although Chill to the Bone's not awful either. It's just kind of limited in how often you can use it.
Right.
Whereas Icy Encounter is kind of like Chill the Bone with an attack stapled onto it. But it also doesn't create quite as many Frostbite as like the higher Chill the Bones do. But I also don't know that they're worth running. Do we run the red Icy Encounter? I mean, some of them were running it, right? Yeah, the 8th place deck was running it. The 2nd place deck was running it. So do we run the red one? I mean, it does cost 2, but it's 6 damage.
Which one was it?
Icy Encounter?
Icy. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see the red.
Okay. Well, we'll put 2 of those in. And then maybe Polar Blast yellow, because they're doing those. And, like, the Polar Blasts are better, too, if we are using things like Icy Encounter, because we can't give this Dominate normally. Mm-hmm. So then it does kind of work well with that, too. So I guess we do the 2 Polar Blasts. And we are now at 24 cards, so 16 to go. All right, so then, yeah, we're not looking at lightning. We're looking at ice here. So let's see here in the Ranger Commons. Buzzbolt doesn't really work for us. And we're already running the full copies of Chilling, Ice Vein, and Blizzard Bolt. Blizzard Bolt gives Frostbite. Chilling is discard. Okay. Now we can add the Flake Out if we want. I mean, it's not awful.
Right. I mean,
5 with Dominate is kind of good.
Red 5 Dominate for 1 if you fuse.
And if we can get like a Chilling Ice Vein into Flake Out, So like you do like Chilling Ice Vein, and then you give it Go Again, and then you flake out with Dominate.
Yeah.
That is pretty good. All right, we'll do Red Flake. And I think part of it too is that gives us one more way to fuse ice, although we do already have 12, so now that's 14 things that fuse ice.
So would we want Entwine Ice red in that case?
I think at this point we probably don't need it, because we have 16 things that fuse. So we're pretty likely to be able to fuse ice every turn to trigger our amulet. So then are there other good common ranger cards?
Do we want Hamstring Shot as a pseudo frostbite token?
We could do Hamstring Shot. We could do Headshot too, because that's also good. I would say Sikkim Shot, because that has Go Again already stapled onto it, but the problem is what it looks like is that we want Go Again on, like, we want to go Chilling Ice Vein and then another attack. Mm-hmm. And so at that point I don't think we're very likely to be able to do a third attack.
Right. Because
we have to load our bow a bunch of times. Do we need ways to give Go Again then? To kind of boost our ability to do these Chilling Ice Vein chains? Like, do we run some number of Lead the Charge? It doesn't feel great, but we ironically might even be able to get away with something like Time Skippers as boots. What do we have for boot? Well, yeah, you don't really want to do Time Skippers over Snapdragon Scalers. Never mind. Forget I said anything. Is there anything that gives Go Again on the other, like on the chest? I don't think so, right?
Not that I remember. No, I don't think so. Otherwise,
no.
we would
play it a lot. Yeah, we would. That is true. I'm getting ahead of myself here. It would probably run like Blood Drop Brocade. That's actually probably really good, because that gains 1, which can actually do a lot of our stuff off of 1. So that's probably, although is Vest better in every way?
That's if it hits.
Yeah, but this is also if it hits, right?
Well, or yeah, I guess.
Essentially.
It's just odd that one's labeled as if it hits and the other one is if it's dealt.
Yeah, if you've dealt physical damage this turn. I guess Vest is better though, because it produces more. But getting ahead of ourselves, finish the deck before we look at that stuff. Okay, so we have the Red Flake. So do we need some ways to give Go Again? Do we want, like, what are the options here? What are the options here? Let's see. So we can do Lead the Charge. Lead the Charge does that. Is that it? I think that might be it. For giving Go Again. Which in that case we'd kind of need the red one, right? Because the red one is the 0+.
Yeah. Is it 0?
0 or greater, yeah.
Okay, it is greater. I always get that confused with some other card, and I don't remember what the card is.
So if we do Lead the Charge, we have Snapdragon plus this. We're probably never going to get more than 2 attacks a turn, right?
Probably not.
Because we have to keep reloading. Which then also asks the question, do we want Overflex? Because that's the one that like boosts an attack and reloads. I don't know how often we're going to be able to do that though. And if we do go that route, then we kind of need to start looking at like blue Overflexes. Alright, I guess we put the red Lead the Charge in, but we're not necessarily like focused on this multiple things a turn. Probably. This is just like, what I guess like our optimal thing is we're trying to set up like a good chilling Ice Vein turn. So we don't necessarily need to reload a lot. We just need to save lead the charge for a turn that we'll be able to do multiple things in. Like maybe we already have an arrow attack arsenaled, and then we use the bow to put the second one in.
If we're going to do overflex, would we want to do the yellow as well? Or do you think it's not necessary?
No. I think if we do run overflex, we probably just run the blue.
Okay.
As funny as that is. And I'm not even sure we do run it. I think we're probably looking to add more red attacks at this point and just up our damage ability.
What about the red overflex? Plus 4.
I don't think
Plus
so.
4.
I think if we're going to use a pump spell like that, we're looking for like blue. I mean, because even the blue does plus 2.
Plus 2.
Yeah, but if things have like dominate,
true.
that's actually, and we're kind of probably going to dominate a lot because Shiver gives dominate. And we're probably running Honing Hood too, so we have another way to reload off that. Because then we'll have Honing Hood, Bullseye Bracer, and the bow.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 3 reloads right there, and we just have to be smart about using them. I think we do run Hamstring Shot as like another fake Frostbite, right?
I think so.
Okay.
A pseudo Frostbite.
Do we run Headshot, or do we just be like, we're not really...
Headshots when it's from the arsenal. Is that when it's flipped?
If you're put into the arsenal face up, it gets plus 2, I think.
Okay.
Let me open it over here. Headshot. Yeah, so it's 4 power normally, and if you put it into the arsenal face up, it gets plus 2, so it's 6. Which the nice thing with that is you can Shiver, put it in, give it dominate, and it has plus 2, so it's now 6 with dominate.
That is pretty good, and it only
which is
costs
kind of
1.
nice. Yeah. I mean, might be worth it. What other common arrows do we have that are not lightning? Pathing Helix with a reload, but I'm not necessarily sure that that's good. Salvage Shot's not terrible, because that puts itself back in your deck, which Ranger does have the risk of running out of cards. Because if you run out of cards, you're dead.
Yeah.
Because your weapon deals no damage. So that might be worth it too. Looking at the options, I think we do run the red Headshot.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a lot of better options. What does increased tension do again? Is it worth running? Plus 2 and defense reactions can't be played. There's not a ton of defense reactions though in common. Follow-up question, do we want defense reactions?
I mean, what would we put? Other than...
I was thinking the yellow one, but on reflection, we don't really want to be using an arsenal slot on defense reactions. So if we do run it, we probably run one of the reds.
Yeah.
Which would probably be Sink Below.
Yeah, red Sink Below is...
I suppose we just see where we're at with cards and if we have space for it. Alright, do we run the Salvage Shot?
Wait, there's no difference between... Oh, no, never mind, there is. I forgot. It's the actual defense.
What's Yellow Hamstring Shot? Well, Yellow Hamstring Shot's not bad. It's 4 damage, so it's hard to block.
Yeah.
So we could run a yellow on that too, I think. And then we just don't run the blue. So maybe we do the Hamstring. And we're already running Searing Shot, right? We made that decision? Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And that really is only worth running the red because that's the 4 power. So if we run yellow, then they can block it and it doesn't get its bonus. Do we run the red Salvage Shot just to have something that puts itself back in?
I mean, it is It's
5.
still a 5.
Yeah, it is 5. All right. I think we are kind of just looking for powerful arrows.
That's like last case scenario.
Yep.
If we run out of everything, we can still just start cranking those out.
Okay. So we have the ice cards we need, right? We have 6, 8, 10. So we're fairly consistent to hit it. Although it is, we have 14 things that fuse ice and only 10 cards that can be used to fuse them. But I mean, we have enough to be able to fuse every turn in theory.
Right.
We could always put in more like Winter's Bite. I don't know.
How do we feel about that icy encounter?
What, the red one?
Yeah.
I think the red one's fine.
You're gonna put that in?
Well, I already did.
I thought
Yeah,
it was
it's already.
tentative.
It was originally, and then we put it in.
Okay.
And I think we have enough. We have 10 blues and like 8 yellows. We have plenty of ways to actually pay for it.
That's true.
And we have the 2 lead the charge. We could potentially run yellow too, because I don't think we have. Yeah, we don't have many 0 costs. It's mostly all cost 1, so the yellow works. But again, I don't know that our best choice is to focus around doing multiple things a turn, because every time we've played Ranger, it feels like we never can do multiple things a turn. So maybe just the 2 lead the charges to set up one good chilling ice vein turn.
I could see that, yeah.
And then maybe you keep a blue to pay for everything. All right, so then are we looking for more reds or yellows? Do we put yellow headshot in?
What's that, 4?
It would be 5 if you can
That's
boost
true.
it. Otherwise, it's only 3 normally.
Oh, right.
But if you can boost it, it's 5.
Mhm. So you'd have to use the bow to do that, right?
Or the bracers.
That's true.
The hood might do it too. And we don't have anything that reloads currently. Do we put like some overflex in? Like how many cards do we need?
I thought we did put
We need
overflex
4.
in.
We don't have any overflex in right now.
Oh, I thought we were talking about the blue.
We were considering the blue. So do we put the blue in? Just as a way to reload another way in there?
Mm-hmm.
Is it a space? It is a space. And I don't think there's really... I mean, we could put in things like Nimblism as like pump spells. Because it works on everything not named Icy Encounter.
That's true. Wait, why not icy encounter?
Because Icy Encounter costs 2.
Oh, right.
It's literally our only 2 costs in the entire deck, actually.
Yep.
The bars. Alright, so put in the blue Overflex. We have 2 slots left. So we can put defense reactions in there. We can put Nimblism to boost attacks. Which isn't awful if we're going to be also...
Dirtling.
Well, if we're going to be giving them Dominate a lot too.
That's true.
Like... It's probably one of our better pump spells available.
I like Nimblism.
Alright, so we do 2 red Nimblisms.
Yeah, that seems fine.
And that's what we close out the deck with. I mean, it definitely looks good in the Briar deck, that's for sure. I mean, like, it's 0 cost pump spell, which is nice because that kind of fits. Like, we're going very red heavy here, but like our costs are all like 1 cost pretty much.
Yep.
Or 0. We have 10 0 costs.
That's pretty
10
decent.
0 costs, like 28. Yeah, that's probably actually what it is. It's 10 0, 28 1 cost, and then 2 costs.
Yep.
Yeah, I think this looks actually pretty good. We should be fairly likely to fuse our ice cards. And while I say we have like 14 cards that fuse ice, and we only have 10 ice cards, you can use the same ice card for fusing multiple ice cards in a turn. So like if you have Chilling Ice Vein plus an ice card in hand, you can always Chilling Ice Vein and fuse it with, like, fuse the next card with that same thing. I think Chilling Ice Vein stacks too. So if you have like 2 Chilling Ice Veins, it gives them 2 triggers of discarding a card. That's actually pretty dirty. But that's if we can give it go again, which again we only have the 2 Lead the Charges and 1 Snapdragon Scaler. I mean, I suppose that's probably fine though, right? Because we're just looking to do it once, like one really, really good turn that just like empties our opponent's hand, and then we just keep up the aggro and force them to keep blocking, I guess. I don't know.
Ooh. What about Invigorate?
Yeah, we have to fuse for that. I'm very unsold on Invigorate.
I mean...
And it only pumps certain things, right?
I guess there's only...
yeah,
the next attack
you fuse. So you have to fuse an attack. And it's only going to give us 1 more than Nimblism does.
That's true.
And Nimblism has less conditions to pull it off.
Okay.
I want to use Invigorate because I have a foil one that looks really cool, but...
Yeah.
but...
I just saw it and threw it out there.
Okay. All right. So, equipment. We already kind of talked about it a bit, but we're doing the Snapdragon Scalers. We're doing Bullseye Bracers, right? Yep. What does it do again? If you have no cards in your arsenal, you can put an arrow card from your hand in the arsenal, which gives it +1.
Also has Arcane
Barrier. And it doesn't cost anything to do that. Oh, yeah, and it does have Arcane Barrier, so it's even like a good sideboard card.
Yeah.
And then for the hat, we probably do Honing Hood.
Honing Hood. Or maybe...
Because that actually does let you... So, like, there's a number of cool things you can do with Honing Hood. If you have nothing in your arsenal, it just says return all cards in your arsenal and then put a card from your hand face down in the arsenal, which does kind of miss some of the face-up effects.
That's true.
But, like, if we have nothing in our arsenal, we can put something in our arsenal. But this does actually give us some of the kind of cooler things we can do, where we can always put, like, an ice card in our arsenal, flip it to Lexi at the start of the turn to give him a Frostbite token, then swap it for an arrow in our hand.
That is cool.
So that actually is some...
I never thought of it that way.
I didn't either until this moment. And then chess piece for commons. The big things we have here, I would say that are worth running is probably Vest of the First Fist.
Okay.
Or Coat of Frost.
Coat of Frost, yeah.
So I think we do Vest, and then we probably have Coat of Frost in the sideboard, right? For like matchups where it's like Briar and we really are gonna get beat down, and we need to slow them down.
You want to slow them down.
Yeah. And our choices are either Shiver. Oh, Shiver does cost. Okay.
Yes, it does cost. It costs 1.
I think it is. Yeah, it's Voltaire that's free, isn't it? Oh no, it's Redliner. Redliner is what I'm thinking of. They cost 0, but that's a rare. I think we do still go Shiver over Death Dealer.
Yeah.
The big thing with Shiver is it's not an action. It's an instant.
That's true. Yeah.
Which is really cool if you're going second, because you can block with cards, and then you can load your bow and then redraw.
Mm-hmm.
So I do like that. And the fact it does let you either boost the attack or give it Dominate, I think that's probably worth more than drawing a card.
Oh, so you can do it not on your opponent's
turn. You can do it on your opponent's turn. Yep.
That's interesting.
Yep.
I never thought of it that way.
Okay, and then that leaves us with 6 cards for the sideboard. So we're already saying we want
Coat of Frost.
Coat of Frost. Where are you? It's not even listed here.
Huh.
Okay. Can I forcibly add it? Coat. Okay. Well, that's weird, but we know what it's gonna be. Why don't they have that listed? Very weird. The funny thing is, I can actually choose Vest of the First Fist, even though it's already up here.
Yeah.
All right. So we have the Coat of Frost in the sideboard.
Yep.
And that leaves us 5 more slots. We don't need Null Rune Gloves because we already have Bullseye Bracer.
Right.
And if
would we want a Null Rune Hood in that case?
I'm trying to think, like, what are our easiest things to replace?
Yeah.
probably Vest of the First Fist is our easiest replacement.
Yeah.
So we can definitely throw other chest items in, which in that case means probably Null Rune Robe. Do we even bother with Ironhide Plate? Because we can put Null Rune Robe in.
Did I say hood, not robe?
You said hood.
Okay.
But I do
meant
think...
robe.
Oh, okay. I do think our next easiest to replace is probably Honing Hood.
Okay. Really?
I think we're sooner to keep Bullseye Bracer and Snapdragon Scalers. Because
Yeah.
maybe I'm reading this wrong, but it seems like Snapdragon Scalers is actually a big part of our best turn. You know what I mean? Like, we're kind of keeping the Scalers around so we
Yeah.
can set up a double Chilling Ice Vein turn. So it's like something we just kind of sit... Like, it is our combo piece. So I'm actually, like, almost to the point that the boots are more important than Bullseye Bracer.
Really? Okay.
Even though, I mean, Bullseye Bracer is really good because it already gives us, like... And this is why Cracker Jacks is terrible. It gives us the Cracker Jacks effect while also reloading our arsenal.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
Okay, so we have Null Rune,
we have
and
Robe.
hood.
And probably Null Rune Hood.
Okay.
Yep. And then chess piece, we have Code of Frost. So now we have 3 slots left. We could put an Ironhide Plate, but like if Code of Frost is what we bring in for aggro, where would we bring an Ironhide Plate over it?
That's true. Yeah.
I think nowhere, right?
No.
Man, it sucks so much that they have no battle worn equipment. Or even, like, I'd even kill for, like, Blade Break common equipment. Like, they have no equipment you can block with.
Well,
meanwhile, like, the Rune Blade has the Aether Iron Weave.
What
and
about an Ironhide Helm?
Ironhide... I think Ironhide Helm you can definitely do.
Okay.
I think that works, for sure. I don't think you're likely to do a different utility helmet. I think
No.
Honing Hood is better than going, like, Hope Merchants or Ragamuffins, so I think we do the Ironhide Helm... Null Rune Hood, Null Rune Robe, Code of Frost. We have 2 slots left.
Yeah.
Do we ever replace the gloves? Do we ever replace the boots? Would we ever bring in Death Dealer? Is there a matchup in which we would prefer to have Death Dealer over Shiver? Is there any point we would want to be drawing cards more so than Dominate? Or would you rather have Death Dealer into aggro? Because you can kind of reload your hand? I don't know. But again, I don't know if there's ever a point you replace the gloves or the boots. I mean, maybe you can get away with the gloves, because if you can't do a lot of things a turn, you don't necessarily need a ton of ways to reload.
That's true.
Like, one works.
Okay, well, in that case, would we do Null Rune?
Well, you wouldn't do the Null Rune, because
No.
it already has Arcane Barrier on it.
Oh, that's true.
So there's never a point you'd replace it with that.
Okay, so you would do the Ironhide?
You'd probably do
Gauntlets?
Ironhide Gauntlets. And I think we do like Ironhide over Iron Rot, because we kind of want the cards to be going back in.
Yeah.
So, like, pitching cards to use the gloves is not a bad thing for us, per
And,
se.
I mean, who likes Blade Break? That's just like adding insult.
But it
to injury
is
because of all the
free. It is
Blade
free
Break
at least.
Archer equipment.
So you don't have to lose cards for the Iron Rot. So I mean, it might be worth it from that
Yeah.
standpoint. But so we have one more slot. So we can either take another gloves, which I don't think we do, because I don't think any of the utility gloves are worth it, or we take a boot we can replace, or we throw Death Dealer in, and who knows, maybe there's a matchup where we want Death Dealer.
Or you could do some stubby hammers.
Yeah, but that's... I don't think that's worth it. I mean, like, that is the one thing that... Actually, you know what? No, never mind. We don't have many things with 3 or less base power, because we were going for only things that are over that 3 threshold,
That's
so they're
true.
hard to block.
Yep.
And partially, too, because, like, A, they have to block it with 2 cards, or using Urpo, we can give it Dominate, and that guarantees that it hits. Because it has more than 3 attack. So... let's just throw
Could
Death
also
Dealer
do
in.
Goliath Gauntlet. Ooh.
For the icy encounter?
Yep. For those 2
Alright.
random icy encounters.
I'm going to throw the Death Dealer in it. I think
Just-
once you play the deck more, there might be some... Like,
Okay.
I think there's a non-zero chance that there's a certain matchup where you care about filling your hand back up more so than giving Dominate or boosting your attack.
I could see that, yeah.
I think there is some possibility for that. I'm not entirely sure what that might be.
I guess it would be when you're
I don't know if
not
that's...
when you're against another control deck, maybe.
Yeah, do you think it's against, like... It's either when you're against an aggro deck or it's when you're against a control deck. And I'm not entirely sure which it would be.
Okay.
Because, like, against an aggro deck, you don't necessarily care about Dominate as much because if they're blocking it, they're losing ammunition to throw back at you. So, like, you may want to leave them the option to double block just to exhaust their resources more, or you figure they're not going to block anyways because they're not going to want to lose those resources.
We might be able to find this out in a future episode.
That's
of
true.
The Vodcast.
Well, it probably wouldn't be the Vodcast. It'd probably be actual Pauper
Oh, that's
gameplay. But, yeah, I think there's a possibility we use Death Dealer. I'm not confident there is, but I think there is a possibility we bring in Death Dealer for certain matchups.
Does that put us at 10 or 11?
That puts us as exact. That gives us 11 equipment,
Okay.
I think. Oh, wait. Is that correct? Oh, wait.
Bullseye. Go to
We have 11. 11 is how many you can normally have,
Yeah.
right? In Blitz? Okay, yes. Yeah. So we're correct. Because we're missing the Code of Frost because it won't let us in it
Okay.
on this. So we have 10 plus Code of Frost. And I think Code of Frost is probably better for an aggro matchup. I think you'd rather have Code of Frost over Vest of the First Fist in that case. And then you would bring in the Null Rune if you're playing like Wizard or something like that.
Is this counting both weapons?
Yes. Yes, the weapons go into the equipment
You
count.
But you didn't put in Death Dealer yet?
No, I did. It's here.
Where is it?
It's here.
Oh, it's in the sideboard.
Yeah. It's in the
I'm
sideboard.
looking at the wrong thing.
Yep.
I'm looking at mine and wondering why I have 12 instead of 11. Oh, Hope Merchant. There we go.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah, I don't think you run the Hope Merchant. Although it does let you kind of like curve out cool like Chilling Ice Vein turns, but I think you'd rather have the Honing Hood as another way to kind of reload it. And Nimblism doesn't give go again, right? Yeah, no. Just goes again itself. Do we care about the chain at all? Not that it really matters, but good to know.
I think so.
No, because yeah, Chilling Ice Vein is just this turn, so it doesn't need to be on the chain. Blizzard Bolt. Oh, I didn't realize Blizzard Bolt is the same thing as Chilling Ice Vein.
I'm pretty sure
Whenever
saw
an
that.
attack deals, yeah, you probably did, and I'm probably dumb. So yeah, whenever any attack deals damage, that's pretty sick.
Oh, wait, no, I didn't specify that.
Yeah, so Blizzard Bolt works the same way as Chilling Ice Vein. That's not enough to bring in more Leave the Charges, is it?
Maybe.
I don't know what we would even cut at that point.
Fucking,
I guess like Nimblism or Overflex are the easiest cuts.
Entwine Ice, bro.
Why?
Sorry, not
wait,
Entwine
Entwine Ice is not in the deck. Icy Encounter?
Yeah,
is that what
that's
you're
it. That's
thinking?
what it's called.
I don't know. Icy Encounter does some cool things though. But we don't. Well, if we cut Icy Encounter, that's losing an ice card. So we can't really.
That's true.
So that doesn't work because we'd have to replace it with a different ice card. You think our best choices are cutting either Nimblism or Overflex if we're gonna go that route? I mean, so if we cut Nimblism, we actually go up resource because Nimblism is red.
That's true.
So then we add a yellow. Whereas if we cut Overflex, we lose resources.
Yeah, we lose blue.
And Overflex works well with multiple attacks a turn.
Because it reloads.
Yeah. And actually, it pumps by a similar amount to Nimblism, doesn't it? Yeah, by only one less. And it doesn't have the requirement of, although Overflex hits the same number of cards Nimblism does, so it doesn't matter.
Overflex only works for arrows, whereas Nimblism... But how many non-arrow attacks do we have?
2.
Just 2.
Icy Encounter.
Okay.
Which is the same thing Nimblism doesn't hit. Okay, so are we cutting Nimblism for the lead the charge then? Just to give us a few more ways of doing multiple things a turn?
I guess so.
Okay.
Pour one out for Nimblism.
I know, so close. But I mean, we do have it in Briar, so it gets some play.
Yeah. But it would have been nice to see like a matchup. Of
No, I clicked the wrong thing.
Oh, okay.
Don't mind my squawk over here. Alright. So this is our second time finishing the deck, but...
I mean, we never said it was done. We just started working on the equipment and then realized...
Yep.
You know, you could edit it so it doesn't sound like...
No.
Okay.
It's already too many cuts on this episode. Alright. So we go down another red and we go up a yellow. So now we have 10 yellows, so... Which is actually pretty good for us. Alright. I'm pretty good with this. This seems like a decent list. Kind of a... I suppose this isn't really necessarily a control deck. It's kind of like a tempo deck. Because we're kind of being aggro and control at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, even setting it... Like, our best control turn is, like, a chilling Ice Vein with an attack. I should have turned off notifications on Steam.
But now they know you're friends with that person.
But yeah, like our best control turn is like a chilling Ice Vein plus other attack, or like Blizzard Bolt plus other attack. But in both of those cases, we're doing something controlling, but we're also hitting them for a decent bit.
Yeah.
So we are. I'd say this is probably a tempo deck. Aggro control. All right. Yeah, I think this is solid.
Okay, that works out.
All right. Well then, yeah, that's the Lexi deck, and we'll definitely have to put Lexi against Briar in an episode. That'll definitely be coming out sometime after this episode does.
Yeah.
But this episode's definitely being recorded well in advance too. So.
Well in advance.
It's
going to be 2 more sets coming out before this comes in.
Not that bad. Probably.